All right. Greetings again. This is Temba. I just wanted to continue with the story that I was talking about. What had happened in South Africa. The part 2. So okay. So now I was still like reading what happened there. It says that it is reported that one of the victims went to the local tavern to buy alcohol, but he found that it was already closed. He had an altercation with the tavern owner and went back home. It is alleged that the tavern owner followed him home, where the family members were still celebrating after lobola negotiations. The tavern owner entered the house and opened fire on the family members, Morindili said. The tavern owner allegedly shot dead 7 people, including 3-year-old boy. 5 of the deceased were family members, another was a neighbor, and one a friend. Morindili said 4 people survived the shooting: a 31-year-old and a 1-year-old. They were taken to the hospital with injuries, while a 24-year-old woman and a 4-year-old were unharmed. The suspect then drove back home to Everton, where he allegedly shot himself. He was rushed to hospital, but he died on arrival, Morindili said. She said the Provincial Serious and Violent Crimes Unit has registered 7 counts of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and an inquest. Okay, I don't know what an inquest is. Please enlighten me if you know. All right, so we have a situation here. I'm still talking about the Lawrence Ndaka, I think it's Ndaka, if I'm not mistaken, issue. What had happened? I had recorded the video. You can check it on my channel. Talking about what had occurred. In that video I speak about what happened. And you know, you can check that video, the part 1, where I'm basically talking about trying to make people understand where this thing started, you know. So in this video, it's just a continuation of that video. Please do watch that video before watching this one so that you can get the context, because I'm really trying to help us get to think about this thing a bit differently, and as men to take accountability of our own emotions, you know, of our own feelings, and to try and not be more reactional, you know, not to wait until something terrible or something snaps. We need to get to a place where we can process our emotions, know how to vent, know how to deal with our pain, you know. Because if we are just going to wait until something triggers us and then we, you know, there's a terrible accident, you know, like it's like if there's a gun, a loaded gun, you know, a loaded gun. If there's a loaded gun, you load it, but something must trigger it. But the trigger is not the problem. The problem is the fact that the gun was loaded. You know, that the loading process was their problem. If there was no bullet there, the gun, even if someone pulls the trigger, nothing was going to happen. But because it was loaded, then it just takes one person, you know, to just step on somebody's feet, and the next thing you have a situation where 7 people are dead. The entire family is dead. And in this situation, I don't know what people said about this. I don't know what was the social discussion, the social discourse about that situation. But then when I read about it, the time it happened, October, I became very angry, you know. I was like, how is it that one guy took with him 7 family members? He took down with him 7 family members, like the entire family. 7 coffins had to go down with him. How is that possible, man? And the painful part about that story is that the guy left the tavern, went after these people, shot them. And you know, when you listen to that story on the news, when you listen to I think it's the neighbor or one of the aunts when they speak about what happened there, it's really traumatizing. Because she says this guy loaded that gun, shot all the bullets, and until it ran out. And after, he loaded again and continued this thing, only to go home to shoot himself. Is this not similar to what we just witnessed a day ago, when this brother went, killed a woman, and then went and hanged himself? Is this not what we've experienced? Is this not similar? So we have experienced a similar thing before, but what lessons did we take? Do you see that there's a pattern here? Are we going to wait for a dead thing to happen, where someone who's dealing with emotional demons, who's dealing with problems emotionally, gets triggered, kills the entire community, then goes and kills himself? When are we going to learn? Are we going to wait for a serious problem to happen, or another horrible event to happen, for us to take down some lessons? That's why I'm asking this, because I feel like we are not doing any better, because now it's time. Okay, it affected a woman. That time it was more like crime. Why do people have these guns and all that? Those questions are valid. Why do people have access to guns? Why are people like, all that violence? Why are families fighting and all that? But now, let's ask ourselves, what is the cause? What is going on in the mind, in the male psyche, in the male emotion? What is happening with men emotionally? What is going on, brothers? We need to answer that. When are we going to take accountability for our emotions? These things are so terrifying that you think, even sometimes, as men, we challenge each other on the streets. Sometimes we do challenge each other. You just want to show a guy that you are a man. You can stand up for yourself. But you find that that guy has been through a lot. That guy has been disrespected by so many people. By his girlfriend, by his wife, if he has a girlfriend and a wife, or by his family. This guy has been disregarded. His boss at work has just played with him. He was not paid. He lost money. This guy is going through a lot. And then when you come and you think it's just a normal behavior to challenge someone in public. Maybe you are just calling them out for doing something stupid, or you are not happy with what they did. And the next thing, a volcano erupts. Next thing, the whole cartridge ends in your chest. The next thing, the guy is shooting you. You are dead. Just because of a slight thing. So it means you are not really a problem. There was an issue there that was still cooking. There was something boiling there. And you happen to be the one who opened the lid. And an explosion happened. And you suffered. So we need to take lessons from this story. And as men, I'll just say, we can do better. It is about time that we are not going to call the government. We're not going to blame anyone. We're not going to blame the government. We're not going to blame our families. We're not going to blame our girlfriends. We're not going to blame females. We're not going to blame anyone, or the churches, or whatever. We shouldn't blame anyone. As men, we are leaders. It is about time that we take matters into our own hands. It is about time that we gather as men and help each other. It is about time, if you are going through a lot, my brother, go and find a therapist. Speak to someone. Deal with your emotions. Deal with your dark side. Go talk it out. Sometimes, to wait for a savior doesn't help, because clearly no one is prioritizing men. I'm not trying to politicize this thing. But when you watch the news, I see the ministers are going to the girl's family with the Lawrence issue. They are more like comforting the girl. Social media, people are taking sides with the girl and everything. It's okay, man. I mean, that's how it is, the man is always a villain most of the time. The man is mostly a villain, and it's okay. I mean, it's okay. Men are leaders, and they will be held accountable. The leader takes the blame. So as a man, you have to know that no one is coming to save you, my brother. But for our sake and for the sake of our children, we will also have families in the future. We'll have daughters. And for the sake of our own daughters that you might want to marry, please take your emotions serious. And ladies, just to talk to the ladies, make sure that your boyfriend is emotionally mature and emotionally active, like is actively dealing with his emotions, is expresses his anger. It's better to have someone who doesn't bottle things. If we are fighting, I just appreciate people who fight now. They fight now, it ends now, it's over. It's better to have someone like that than someone who holds on to grudges. Someone who stays with things for 3 months, 4 months, they never speak. And you think they are just an easy target, right? You just speak to him anyhow. You just do things anyhow. The next thing, the guy becomes a monster and you cannot handle him anymore, right? So you need to pay attention to what you do as well. You need to also help your men. I'm talking about people who sympathize, people who care for men. I'm not saying what that girl did was wrong. I mean, there's many things that happened there. Firstly, let me also comment on that, because what the girl did was wrong. If she did that, the thing is, it's hard to conclude without hearing somebody's story, right? If the girl was only alive to tell us her side of the story, things will be different. We'll easily conclude. So it's hard to conclude to say the girl was wrong. I don't want to do that. But all I can say is that according to the guy, what the guy is saying, so the guy also, we will hold him accountable even though he's gone, to say, in this situation, the guy was supposed to step away, was supposed to leave that relationship. You can see the red flags. You can see that this girl, for the fact that she got a child out of the relationship, it means that you are of no value to him anymore, right? You didn't mean anything to him anymore. Why do you stay in that relationship? If you see that you are with someone who doesn't care about you, why do you stay? You can see it's a big red flag. Men are taught that, in the men forums and manosphere, the red pill, men are taught that, if you see that the girl is not passionately in love with you, leave. If there's some guy that this girl loves more than she loves you, then this is not your girl, because chances are, when the girl gets a chance to be with that guy that she truly loves, she'll go to that guy. And what are you going to do? Are you going to kill her? No. You saw the red flags, but you stayed, right? So this guy, and for the fact that, they always say that never go back to your ex, more especially if your ex is the one who left you. Why would you go back to your ex? So this guy can see that this girl doesn't value him. And this girl breaks up with the guy, goes to someone else, only for the girl to come back, right? And this guy takes her back. And it's also a red flag. Why do you go back to someone that you had a life with? They got a child out of the relationship and all that. Why are you trying to explain those things? Why don't you just leave, man? Just leave, leave before it's too late, before you invest too much. Because the problem is the investment. That's the problem. You as a man, you are working for a family, you are working for people that you love. It's hard. That's why men are very protective of their families. They will do anything to protect their families, because their families are their investment. We invest in our families. You raise, you have a wife that you support, you are always there for her, you give her money, you work so hard for your family so that your family can turn out well. You work so hard for your children. That's why if someone will touch your children, you will fight as men. You can even kill someone, to protect your children, to protect your family. That's the problem with this situation here. This man was like, I've invested a lot. If anyone will gain at my expense, then no one should gain. If anyone is going to have this woman that I've invested a lot in, then we might as well all lose. If she's going to have happiness at my expense, we might as well all of us lose. And I'm not saying that that feeling is justifiable, but I'm just saying that the problem is over investing in something that you shouldn't be investing in. You saw the red flags. Why didn't you just move away after getting the red flags? After seeing those red flags, work on yourself as a man. Go out, find someone who will appreciate you for who you are. If someone is not appreciating you, it's okay, man. You've already invested. Move away. So that's what I wanted to say, that as men, let's take care of our emotional self. Man, find a brother that you can talk to, or open a YouTube channel, speak, be a fool online, speak about your pain, cry. Let the people laugh at you. If they want to laugh at you, let them laugh at you, because that's what society does. When a woman, if now I can record a video crying about someone, let's say, who played with me or took my money and they played me, right? Like, you remember that video that was trending at some point, where a guy was crying in a car because he went to a bar and he paid a lot, like around 17,000 or something. He paid a lot for these girls, and these girls ran away in the club. You remember that video? It was very funny. The guy cried. He was crying in the car, and these gents were trying to comfort him and say, hey man, console him and say, don't worry, but they were laughing, and everyone was laughing. Think about that guy, what he will do afterwards. Think about that guy. Let's say it so happens that he meets a girl in a club at some other time, and this girl is like, I will not do that to you, and the girl tries to do that. Think about what that guy can do to that girl. It is such things that we usually our society has double standards when it comes to men. We say men must be strong, and we say men must be strong, men must not cry. And what is strength? Is crying a weakness, or it's a form of strength? I think it's a form of strength, because when you are crying, you are removing something. That's why people are supposed to moan. I'm a Christian, right? In the Bible says Jesus wept. Jesus wept. Jesus wept. In the Bible, it says Jesus wept. I think it's also the shortest verse in the Bible. It says Jesus wept. You read in the Bible, there's a time when Joseph was crying. When he saw his brothers, he cried. Where his father, when he met with his father Jacob, they both cried. Right? There are times in the Bible, even David, when he had to separate with his friend Jonathan, they wept. They both wept. And they kissed, they wept. Okay, not kissed like, but they wept and cried. They hugged each other, they cried. Then David had to leave. So these are emotions. And these men that I'm talking about, these are leaders. These are strong men. These are men highly regarded. These are people who have a lot of followers and a lot of influence. But they wept because those emotions are valid. To say that a man must not cry, we are creating a monster. Because at some point, that thing must come out. Think about a situation where, let's say you are abused or you are ill-treated and you kept quiet about it. And years go by. After some time, you meet this guy who did this thing and you remember everything. Those emotions come out. What are you going to do? You see, it's very unhealthy. You might even do something bad to this person because you never dealt with those emotions. So it is important, gentlemen, to deal with our emotions. Let's look at ourselves. Let's fix ourselves. No one is going to fix you, unfortunately. No one is going to pay for your therapy sessions. No one is going to help you emotionally. No one is going to be there for you. You are on your own as a man. It's a fact. As a man, you are alone. That's why I'm saying, try. If you can't afford therapy, your brothers, your friends, get some good friends who also understand how important it is, what you are going through and your emotions. Talk to them. Be honest, be authentic. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your emotions. You don't have to talk to the woman about it because they can see you as weak. But talk to the man. Talk to another brother. Talk to another brother and say what you are going through, and you'll be fine. So that's all for me. all I can say that in that relationship there were a lot of red flags, and unfortunately the guy is gone. And that's what we do, like, and what's the painful thing? Let me tell you what's the painful thing here. It's escapism. That's the most painful thing, and that's the most obvious thing in this video. It's escapism. Most of us as men, we escape our pain. We use things to escape our pain. We don't want to face those emotions. That's why we don't like to face the music of our emotions. It's escapism. The day we deal with this escapism will be good. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I also escape a lot. And sometimes you escape these uncomfortable emotions. You escape, let's say you have to talk to your boss about something. You don't like the way he treats you. So what do? You just bottle things, you escape. How do you escape? You go and drink. How do you escape? You go have sex. Let's say after a terrible day, you just go get your girlfriend, have sex. Those who buy prostitutes, you go and buy a prostitute, you have sex. Then you just escape, you forget about that, you go sleep. But escapism doesn't help because those emotions are still inside. Right? We have a situation whereby a guy killed 7 people. He was going to face the music. Why didn't he drive straight to the police station if he was afraid that the community is going to come and ban him? But what did he do? He killed himself to escape from the emotions that he was now facing. What happened to that brother? Killed a woman. What did he do afterwards? He had to escape. He had to run away from those emotions. He had to run away from how he felt. Right? He had to run away from the wrath of the family, of social media, of everyone. The social pressure that was going to come after he has done that. So what did he do? He killed himself. He escaped. So most of the time we always escape. We escape our pain. We escape our emotions. We try to escape. We try to suppress these emotions. And the problem of suppression, it doesn't help anyone. You are not going to heal. You are not going to learn to be emotionally strong. So brothers and sisters, thank you so much. My lighting is saying time's up, brother. I hope to do other videos in the future where we talk about this thing, where we discuss these things, where we help each other, and we can really find a solution. Because at the end of the day, we really need a solution. It's about time that we take matters into our own hands as men, in a healthy way. Let's take matters into this thing of this men's conference, this fictional, it's not fictional, man, what is it, hypothetical, this thing that we always talk about, the men's conference thing that we always talk about. That thing must happen. That thing must surely happen. That thing, we need to have forums. We need to have places where men gather and talk about their issues. We need to have places where men gather and become vulnerable. I don't want to say much. I'm just disappointed that my light did me dirty now, but what can I do? So thank you so much also for just tuning in. Thank you so much for watching this video. All I'll ask of you is that may you please kindly subscribe. May you please kindly like the video, subscribe, comment on the video so that we can help the video to, if you think this video is worth sharing, please do share the video, and also comment and just let's have the discussion. Let's talk about it. Let's help each other. It's about time now that we take matters into our own hands in a healthy way, so that we don't see these patterns. Because if we just keep it moving like nothing happened, 2 months down the line, something else will happen. It may happen in another form, but it's the same beast, coming in a different way. So we need to see these things and see the patterns so that you can deal with it. Thank you so much. Please stay blessed. I don't know if I'll do a part 3 of this. If something does some inspiration, I will. But for now, this is my contribution to this discussion. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that we can see each other in the next video. Okay, please do take care of yourself. if you're a gentleman, or if you have a brother or a son who's always quiet, who doesn't talk about his issues, please try and talk to them, and yeah, you might save someone. Yeah, try and talk to them. Let them be a safe space for a brother. Be a safe space for a friend. Be a safe space for someone else. Okay. I was actually receiving a call here, but I'll take it after this. Yeah. Let's meet some other time. Please do take care. Enjoy your holidays. If you are suffering and you are going through hardship, let me say what my therapist always tells me. You can do this. You matter. You can do this. You have this in you. You can do this. Okay? So don't worry about it. You can do this. Take a moment. Breathe. You're strong. You can do this. Okay? Let's meet again. Cheers, gentlemen. Love from my side. Peace. Please take care of your emotions. Those emotions are valid. What we are feeling is important, and people need to hear about it. Talk about it. The first step to healing is speaking about your pain. That's the first step to healing. And be authentic, be honest, be true to how you feel. Okay? Take care. Cheers.